Oreos are just cookies, but when deep fried, they become a delicacy. That's right, I am a Westerner, and as a Westerner, that scares me. Japan's pop culture outreach is huge, to the point that a lot of my fellow Americans are into that stuff. I'll be talking to somebody that I think is just another chili dog enjoyer, only to be jump scared by a Persona fan. I want to talk about that line in the middle where cultures clash. But to do that, we first need to break down the term JRPG. There are those that would consider a JRPG to simply be an RPG that was made in Japan. But those people are schnooks, because I would consider Undertale to be a JRPG. With the modern world being so interconnected, it doesn't make sense to region lock genres. So maybe we just boot the J and let all RPGs be RPGs. But now you got Pokemon and Shadow of War in the same category, and if you look closely, there's actually slight differences in gameplay. So you do need some sort of separation between the two, but I don't think JRPG and RPG work as terms anymore. We need new words for these games. But before we get too deep into this, I need you to agree to not be an asshole, okay? If we're stupid about this genre argument can go on forever, right? Take Metroidvanias, for example, like Castlevania. No, more like Symphony of the Night. Castlevania is a platformer, like Mario. Mario is a pure platformer. It might be more proper to call Castlevania an action platformer. Okay, like Mega Man. I'd argue Mega Man is a run and gun game, actually. Okay, alright. So like Cuphead. I wouldn't call that run and gun per se. There are definitely parts of the game that are for sure run and gun, but most of it is one-screen boss fights. You can't really call that run and gun, although some people on Reddit have defined it as Souls-like. Who called Cuphead a Souls-like? Because that person needs to be Amish for a month. Get all the internet out of their system. Ooh, this game is difficult. Wait a minute, they just stole that from Dark Souls 2. Go milk a goat. Genres categorize art in order to help us decide what we want to partake in based off the feelings we want to experience. How a game makes you feel is more important than any dumb technicality. With that being said, I unveil to you two completely new ways to refer to video games. Menu games and Hitagai games. I think that's pretty good. Now I'm seeing that judgmental stare I'm all too familiar with, so let's throw out some examples. I once bought Xenoblade Chronicles X thinking it was a mecha-themed Hitagai game, like Armored Core, but it was actually a mecha-themed menu game, like Super Robot Wars. If a Golden Sun fan asked what type of game Dragon's Dogma is, the old guard might be tempted to say, oh well, it's an RPG, made in Japan, so it's a JRPG. But we, of a more civilized age, would simply say, menu, Hitagai. I feel like I'm spitting. Factual. I feel like I'm nailing it on the head. Shadow of War is a little more tricky. It does feature a lot of menus, but those menus are a means to an end. And that end is physical violence. Menu, Hitagai, menu, Hitagai, menu, Hitagai. The difference is clear. I'm pretty confident in this system, so let's go deeper. My Western brain is about to be plunged into the Japanese zeitgeist. That's right, we're talking anime games. And I'm not talking about any of that kawaii desu, hogwash, hagabaloo, horseshit. If I bludgeon a character from Umu Musume, is that assault or animal abuse? So there's the easy basic stuff. All the turn-based games are usually menus, and all the arena fighters, that's Hitagai. But then you got more complicated games like Xenoverse 2. It features real-time combat, sure, but the gameplay loop is more similar to a menu game. where there are missions that you can play over and over again to get the drops you want, and you kind of grind it out again and again. But once you finish your custom character, or if you pick one of the alternatives from the roster, the game starts to feel more like a fighting game instead of that slow grind, especially in the multiplayer. But then, you know, Xenoverse 2 has that MMORPG feeling, and World of Warcraft and Wizard 101, those are definitely menu games. But clinging to MMORPGs as a crutch seems to undermine what we're trying to do here with the new genre terms, so let's ignore that for now. Xenoverse 2 is a little tricky, and I'm open to someone arguing menu game, but for now, I think I'd lock it in as Hit a Guy. Okay, it's not a perfect system, but I do believe it's better than what we currently have, and I've been pulling my hair out trying to figure this out, so cut me some slack. This script has been a nightmare to write, okay? I've seen the 10th level of hell, where Dante dare not travel, and it's in my Google Docs. At the end of the day, tradition should take a backseat to effectiveness. If the old genre terms don't work anymore, then that's just it. They don't work anymore. A Baldur's Gate fan might not enjoy Fallout, but could possibly like Fire Emblem. And I mean, obviously people can play outside of one genre, but if someone says they're looking for a game like Baldur's Gate, would you recommend Fire Emblem first, or would you recommend freaking Fallout New Vegas first? Well, there are people that will recommend Fallout New Vegas regardless. I could be talking about any game. I could be talking about, man, I love WarioWare. What's another game I can play like? And people will say I should play New Vegas. But that's them. That's them specifically. That doesn't have anything to do with genres. So again, not saying people can't play games from more than one genre, but if you're trying to scratch that specific itch, menu Hit a Guy, that's more indicative of gameplay than RPG and JRPG, where it's defined by arbitrary regulations that don't actually give you an idea of what the game's gonna be. But it kinda does, but it kinda doesn't. I think Hit a Guy menu is way more effective. That's the video. You end the video there, Josh. This video could have been one sentence. I'm going crazy. Matter of fact, you know what? I've been a bit harsh, right? We've been using RPG and JRPG forever now. You can't expect people to just drop it and adopt this new system I've suggested. Perhaps I was being too, rash, even. You might say I was being rash. So what the hey, let's give it one more shot, gang. What do you say, Steam? How about just one more game? Let's see it. Okay, so Kingdom Hearts is listed as an RPG and a JRPG. So there are just no rules. I mean, what's even the point of the genres if we're just gonna mix and match?